Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, man. On a Thursday, June 1st, new month, new goals, new opportunities, man. I got the GOAT with me right now, and I got a special guest joining us in a little bit as well, man. This is going to be one of my favorite shows of all time. Two of my favorite handicappers on the planet joining me on this beautiful NBA Finals game one day, man. What a season it's been, and here we are, NBA Finals. Had to start it off with a bang. Big Al.
I tell you, I don't think anyone would have predicted Miami versus Denver back in October.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Hey, I don't even think nobody would predicted that in the playoffs unless you're a Heat fan.
Yeah. I mean, Denver had a lot of proponents, but Miami certainly did not have any proponents.
No, exactly. Hell, I think if I go back and watch, I think I had Miami losing that second play-in game to Chicago, I think.
I had Miami in that game, and it's crazy to think back because I think they ended that game on a 12-0 run. And, they were maybe favored, what was it, by 6.5 points or whatever it was that game. And it was a miracle that they covered. They were life and death to win the game. And now look at where they are.
In the NBA Finals, man, took out the Milwaukee Bucks, who had the best record in the NBA. Very formidable. Had coming into the playoffs, I would say a lot of people's number one player in the NBA in Giannis Antetokounmpo. And, took them out, then beat up on the Knicks, and then took a commanding 3-0 lead on the Celtics. They did kind of relinquish for a little bit, but when it was all said and done, they got it done. And now here they are. So shout out to the Heat, man. This has been a hell of a series. I mean, a hell of a run. I haven't seen a run like this in my lifetime. And
you weren't alive in 1999?
I was born in 99. So
what month?
October.
Okay, that was after the New York Knicks.
So I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be a fairly good series. These two teams have some beef going back to last season. So, and I think from a basketball perspective, yes, it may not be, the marquee names or the marquee teams, but I think basketball-wise, man, it's going to be a real good series to watch.
No, I agree 100%. I'm actually looking forward to it. I was getting kind of bored of seeing Golden State in there every year, and I like the new blood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do too. And Jokic, this will be some rare air he can enter if he wins this finals. 2-time MVP. Should have been 3 because I said he should have won it this year. And then add a title to that. Hell, I think so before we get into the show, somebody brought this to my attention today, and I just want to hear your thoughts. Do you think this title would propel Jokic already above guys like Dirk Nowitzki in all time?
No.
Two MVPs and a title for a franchise that's never had one, just like Dirk.
Yeah, I guess for me, when you're trying to compare it to Dirk, I mean, it's just Dirk's longevity still trumps Jokic. I mean, I still need to see Jokic do it for another 5 to 10 years before I'm going to put him in Dirk's. I just think that's disrespectful to Dirk.
Fair enough.
I mean, Jokic is a great player, but
yes,
Dirk Nowitzki.
Of course. And that was pretty much my same argument too. Dirk, nobody will ever touch Dirk, in my opinion. What he did for my city here in Dallas, will never be matched. I love that guy to death, man. I just thought it was interesting because Jokic is entering that era, though. He is. Especially if he pulls off this title, which, first for Denver.
It'll also be interesting because I think it will do a lot for Spoelstra as well. Spoelstra I've always thought was a top 3 coach. But, if you're being honest, I mean, he's been to the finals 5 times. He's only won 2 of them. He was favored in 4 of the 5 times he got there. So he got upset, by Dallas. He got upset by San Antonio, even though San Antonio actually I thought was a better team in 2014.
I would agree.
And, but Spoelstra's still a hell of a coach. But this would be if they can win it the first time that he won with an underdog. So that would be impressive.
Yes, sir. I would agree too, man. Spo is one of the best in the business. Where would you, if you had to put him somewhere, where would you put him in your?
I mean, I put as far as active coaches, I think the top three, there's no question, are Popovich, Kerr, and Spoelstra.
Okay.
I think Popovich is at the top. He's accomplished the most. He's done it different ways. I think, it's hard to argue with Kerr being second when you look at the differential between him and Mark Jackson. He comes in and just, takes that team to a whole another level. Yeah. He's won 4 titles, a much better win percentage in the finals. I really don't care about, I hate, one of my pet peeves is when people say like, so-and-so has made the finals. That just means you lost. Like you either won or you didn't, and it's like, the whole, I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
It's like
I'm somebody that I give a ton of credit for making the finals because
I don't. That just means you won 3 playoff series, and who knows if the teams you played were even that great. And you got to knock everyone down to be champ.
That's fair.
I don't give too much credit for winning a conference. And also, I grew up at the time when the Western Conference was dominant and the Eastern Conference sucked, and it was no great deal to win the Eastern Conference. Whereas the West, you had to go through 2 or 3 juggernauts, and in the East, it was a layup. So I don't really care. But anyway, yeah, it'd be nice to see Spoelstra, do it with this team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't argue with that, man. I wouldn't mind seeing Spo get one. I'd be kind of hurt because y'all know I despise Miami. Just something about them, man. But hey, they're here, and I'm not sleeping on them like I've been anymore.
No. Well, I mean, I think they've got a great organization. I don't know why. Oh, do you despise them because of the Dallas-Miami history?
Yeah, 2006 still holds a lot of weight in my heart. And
I mean, we've with me, a Spurs fan, we have 2013 with Ray Allen, and it's you kind of got to get past that. But from an organization standpoint, I mean, the owner's great. Arison, he's great. Spoelstra's great. Pat Riley's great. I mean, they treat their players great. I mean, it's a great organization, and the success they have is so well deserved. So I can't hate on the franchise. I think it's one of the best franchises in sports. So.
For sure. We got game 1 tonight. How you looking at this game? You want to talk side, total, prop?
I love the side, so I don't want to disrespect the people who bought it and the premium clients and all that. So I, got to apologize. I'm going to probably just talk the total here.
Yeah.
The side's for sale if people want to get it. I'm 14-2. My last 16 across all sports, 19-5, last 24 NBA. So been a great season. Hopefully we'll keep it going.
Pickdawgz premium.
What?
Scoop that up. I said Pickdawgz premium, y'all. Yeah. Scoop that up.
Yeah. But as far as the total here, I'm well aware the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over the total and by a wide margin by 14.5 points per game. Jay, I just don't think that this game 1 is going to follow that script. When you take a look at game 1 in the NBA Finals, the majority of them, going back to 1991, have gone under the total. They're 18-13 under with a push, including 8-1 under if the game was not competitively priced when the point spread was between -6.5 and -9.5 points. So I think that bodes well for a low-scoring game. At home this season, Denver's 28-21 under. It's also 14-7, under its last 21 at home when favored by more than 8 points. You and I, the last couple of weeks, we've been riding the unders in the Miami, Boston series. Miami finished that series with 4 straight unders. They're also 9-4 under their last 13 playoff game 1s. I just think this sets up for a, surprisingly low scoring game. The line's now down to 218.5. Might see some 219s out there, but I like it under. What say you?
Under 219.5. I'm gonna be honest. So for me this morning on the jam session, I gave them the side, and I told them total wise, I was leaning over. I was not going to play that over. I wasn't very comfortable with the total in this one. And in this type series, with the Nuggets having so much time off, I kind of wanted to see game one what it looked like, total wise. But talking with you, you just talked me onto the under. I ain't lying. You did, but because here's why. I do expect, like you said, we've been riding the under in that Miami-Boston series, especially as it came down to the wire. Boston kind of stepped it up defensively a bit, and Miami, they're more of a defensive type team. And I think this game one today is going to be a filling out process, as most game ones are. You throw the first jab, and we're trying to see where it lands, I think is what today's game is going to be. And 219 is kind of high. Denver has been putting up some points. We got to give them some credit, but Denver has also been playing extremely great defense in the postseason. If you guys have been paying attention, I think they still have a good defensive game tonight. I do. So
it'll be interesting. It can, it's going to go one of two ways, right?
It is.
Going to be the feeling out game, or
it is. So I also told them I could see Miami coming into this game with some dead legs. They just played a 7-game series and they had 2 days off. The Nuggets, they didn't. They have had a substantial amount of time off, and that kind of leads me to the side. But I think you could use the same angle for the total as well. Miami could come in here with some dead legs, and some of those.
What actually happens is the teams in that situation, they actually end up playing overs.
For real?
Yep. That would be. I mean, that would be a mitigating factor. The fact that they're off a 7-game series.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I would think they would come in and dead legs, jumpers fall a little short.
Or if you're thinking dead legs, the other team just
blows by you, easy point. Okay, there you go.
But it's
yes, sir.
Interesting.
It's gonna be interesting. So under for Big Al, game one NBA Finals. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, and I think like with both teams coming off 7-game series, I think it's 12-4 to the over, if I remember correctly.
Yes, sir.
I think if anyway, I was looking at all that stuff last night.
Yes, sir. All righty then. What you got for sale over at Pickdawgz Premium today?
Well, I've got the side in the game one that we were just talking about. I've got my USFL game of the month that's posted for the weekend, hitting 65% in USFL and XFL plays since those leagues started the last 2 years. So that's what I've got. I'll be back in action with baseball tomorrow. No baseball today for me.
Same.
Did you pass in baseball as well?
Yeah, I passed some baseball today.
Yeah.
I wanted to take our guy Galsman, but I didn't.
How do you do? I was looking at.
I haven't even looked at it.
Let's see if we would have won or lost. Galsman 3-1. We would have won. That was the play I was looking at as well. I just couldn't do it.
I didn't do it either. Because he's been terrible on the run line as a home favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I left it alone. But I liked the Jays today. I just didn't.
Well, when I handicapped the game, I'm looking at it now. It was -198, and it was too high for me at 198. I see that it closed at circuit 176. If I had been looking at it, I make my decisions, at 5 a.m. So
yeah.
But yeah, it moved down.
Quick question before you get out of here. Do you bet all money line baseball, or do you do run line as well? And what is the determining factor for whether you go run line or money line on a game?
Each game just has.
Like on today's game, you just said you was looking at the money line.
I was looking at the money line. Yeah, I mean, for me, if I'm going to look at the run line, I prefer to take a road favorite than a home favorite, just because you're guaranteed to have 9 at bats. This line happened to move down at 10:37 a.m. So, and that's kind of the the sucky thing, because I would have taken Galsman at in the 170s if I had.
I wanted to. Like you said, it was too high at the time.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to lay 198. But every game's different. You just have to handicap each one and make your decisions. That's how I do it. I mean, I'm not I know a lot of my handicapping friends. I've been doing this for 45 years. And with baseball, so many people have different weird rules that they do. One of my friends, Larry Ness, he passed away last year, but one of his rules was he would never take a baseball favorite over $1.50. He refused.
Yep.
And I never understood that at all. I mean, I'll take plus $2, minus $2. I don't discriminate, but he had that rule,
For me, I kind of do that too, but for premium wise, if it's over 170-ish, I'm not gonna. Mine's like $1.07. Like 170 is too much, too high for me.
Yeah.
Other than that, if it falls under that, it's usually right in my wheelhouse if I really like the team.
Yeah. So, think about Larry. He also had a weird rule with college basketball. I mean, he had a lot of weird stuff.
What was the college basketball one?
Oh my God! Like he demanded that at least one of the teams in the game be a top 25 team. Like he would not, like if it was St. Louis Billikens versus, Duquesne, he's not playing the game.
I wish we could have asked him like what made him come to that conclusion? Like, was it a bad loss on the team or?
No, I mean, it's just
also more comfortable with those teams.
No, I think it was also the way he did his work. He was a guy, you didn't really know him, but he would write encyclopedias in his write-ups. So they would be, like he would spend an hour doing a write-up. And so for him, like on a Saturday, he was only going to look at maybe the, 25 or 30 marquee matchups. He wasn't going to go deeper. Whereas like a handicapper like me, I'm looking at, the MEAC, the SWAC. I'm looking at all 160 games, but Larry would anyway. Different handicappers have different weird rules. It's kind of fun to hear them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All righty, Big Al, man. I always love having you on the show, man. Always.
I'll get down to Dallas this year. We'll go out. We'll get some lunch or something, dinner.
Yes, sir. I love that.
Yeah.
And should be a good summer. We got football on the way soon. Let's see. I know next week we'll still have finals going on Thursday the 15th. So I'm traveling that day. But I should be at my destination by this time, so the show should still carry on.
Are you talking about Thursday the 8th or Thursday the 15th?
Okay, so my bad. I'm a week ahead. Thursday the 15th is what I'm talking about. Now, Thursday the 8th, we could still come on and have a show.
Oh, sure. Yeah, Thursday the 15th, that would be Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
I was ahead of myself. My bad. But Thursday the 8th, yes, it will be Game 4. So we'll for sure, or the Friday will be Game 4. But we'll still have a show Thursday.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. I'm going to have another guest, so I'm going to talk some props until that time. But thank you for joining me today.
Okay. Adios.
All right, fellas. So I'm going to talk some props here in a second. All right. I got another guest coming for y'all here in a second, but let's go to the prop land for tonight's game. Big Al just gave us a total with the under. Let's go to Sports Chat plays. All right. See, I remember we talked a few yesterday with Brad. I meant to ask Big Al about it, but I really love the one yesterday with Brad, the Nuggets in 6 plus 240. Brad came with that fire yesterday. What else we come up with? We came up with Duncan Robinson over 1.5 threes. It's juiced even more today at minus 145, but we know he's going to get the chance and opportunity to knock him down. It's just a matter of, does he knock him down? I believe he knocks him down. So give me Duncan Robinson over 1.5 threes. And I still like that Nuggets for the series. But it is that time for our special guest, man. One of my favorite handicappers on the planet, man. Somebody that I've watched somebody that has helped me become who I am today, man. I got the sauce, man. My guy, Cal Kerms.
Yo, what's up? I just caught the last bet, Duncan Robinson over threes, and I agree.
Yes, sir. So I just had Big Al on the show. We talked total. He likes the under in the game, and then so I just talked a few props. The only one that I really just gave out was Duncan Robinson over 1.5 threes. It's juiced at -145, but I think he's going to get the opportunity to knock down 2.
Well, what I like about that bet, I'm probably going to bet one of the Miami outside shooters. Haven't really decided on what which one. As I just told you, I just walked in the door, just got home. So what I was saying last night, which I think is weird, and I didn't even notice this until I looked last night. So the Nuggets are in the finals, right? If you line up the 16 playoff teams and line them up in order of 3-point frequency, as in which teams shoot the most threes, the Nuggets have played the Suns, who are dead last, the Lakers, who are second to last, and Minnesota, who are 12th out of 16. So you got a team sitting in the finals that really hasn't been tested from the 3-point line at all, which in today's NBA is kind of crazy, right? I mean, usually you got to beat at least 1 or 2 3-point shooting teams to get there. And I don't mean that in any sort of slight to the Nuggets and what they've accomplished. I just think it's interesting. And the Miami Heat, not that I'm going to throw a parade for the Heat outside shooting, but I will say compared to those other 3 teams, these guys have some shooters that seem to show up in the big moments. Strus is one that comes to mind, Duncan Robinson, and they're just 10th in 3-point frequency in the playoffs. So even though they're just 10th out of 16, it's still the highest 3-point frequency Denver's seen all playoffs. So yeah, that's where I was looking as an outside shooter, because I figured that's the only element of the Heat offense that I think could potentially catch Denver off guard. Guys that can hit contested outside shots. So I like that Duncan Robinson angle. I've been riding Caleb Martin, but
he's been hot. He's been on a tear.
I know. But the 15.5 points juice to the over.
Yep.
And what scares me about it is if you look at his numbers, sure, he was balling in the Boston series, but he was not hitting this total during the Knicks series or the Bucks series. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure his usage rate is going to be high because he was like their hottest hand in Game 7. I'm sure they're going to get him looks, but 15.5 juice to the over just seems kind of crazy to me, and I don't think I'm going to touch it. You said Big Al liked the under?
Yes, sir. He liked the under in the game.
I don't hate the under. What I like, though, is the first half over. I've been roasted a couple times in this postseason by unders in game ones, and they come out in the first half of these game ones with these crazy high energy, like it's the Eastern Conference Finals, let's run up and down the floor. And then the score at halftime, 62-61, and my under's cooked. And then in the second half, we actually see the game slow down. That's what we've seen in a lot of game ones this year. So as I'm watching this, holding my under ticket, I'm like, damn, this is the game I thought we were going to see now in the second half, but it's too late. So I don't hate his under bet. I would go first half over and then maybe live bet the under at halftime, just based on what we've seen in the playoffs. Did you give a against the spread pick?
Not yet. I was waiting on you, my guy. So I gave mine this morning on my first drop, and I saw what you gave. So
I don't even know.
How you feeling? Talk to me. How you feeling right now?
Well, I just feel like I always hate when I feel like my decision's made for me. Like, I mean, at 9 points, I feel like I have to take Miami, and I hate that because I feel like they're daring me to. But if this was maybe the Knicks series or the Bucks series, I'd say, okay, I'll lay the points. But I feel like Eric Spoelstra and the Heat have shown us, hey, the odds makers, sportsbooks are going to keep disrespecting us. It's all right. You can take the points with us. You can trust us. I feel like they've earned that respect for me in these playoffs. Like I said last night, in the Boston-Miami series, I didn't even like Miami. I thought it was a pretty evenly matched series. I thought Boston had the slight edge, but I bet Miami in 5 of the 7 games simply because the line was daring me to. They're putting these lines that it's just so disrespectful. This team's in the NBA Finals, and I feel like, because if you really sit back and look at the Miami Heat, and their body of work over the last few years, the only thing that could explain these lines would be the regular season, right? Because, I mean, they were in the conference finals, the NBA finals. I mean, they've shown us they can do this. So if you just try to remove the regular season, this year's regular season from your brain, this line seems kind of crazy that they would be getting 9. And I know the altitude is an added factor for sure, but I mean, they were having the Celtics lay these kind of numbers to Miami too. So it's not like this is a shock. Celtics were laying 8.5, 9 too in Boston. So I don't know. I really originally, when I first was like, all right, what am I going to bet in this game? I was thinking Miami Heat first half plus the points, maybe like 5.5 or 4.5, whatever it is. I didn't even look at it. Just because the Nuggets haven't played in a while. I don't know. It's one of those like, hey, I gave out Miami Heat plus 9. I'm betting Miami Heat plus 9, but am I going to be completely shocked if the Nuggets win by 30? No. It's tough. It's a tough sell.
It's a tough sell. I'm taking the Nuggets tonight. I am. I'm gonna be honest. I looked at Boston. I mean, not Boston. I looked at Miami in this game. I gave it some serious thought. I'm with you. I do think 9 is slightly high, and I said that this morning. I do think objectively, when you just look at the game for what it is, 9 points in game 1 of a finals, laying that is a pretty hefty number. Now, I tried to think, why is this number so high? And when I start to do that, I start to understand why the line is so high. You have a huge rest advantage for the best home team in the NBA in Denver. They have a massive home court advantage. The elevation, I know some people want to overhype it. Some people want to downplay it. I'm not putting a ton of thought into it, but I do think it's a slight factor, especially being with Miami being the lowest point in the NBA. So they're going from low to high in Denver and off short rest. They just played a 7-game series against a tough team in Boston, a series that they should have had over fairly quickly. Man, I've been on the Nuggets a ton at home this season. I even have a phrase for them. They go stupid, dummy, crazy at home. 9 is a lot, man. It is, but I think the number is where it's at for a reason. Would I be surprised if Miami came out, played a very tough Miami-style game, was down 15 with 5 minutes to go, and then lost by 4? Would I be surprised? No, I wouldn't. That's Miami basketball, and I've been bitten by that all postseason. Now, what you said was very accurate. It's hard for me to take out the Miami Heat regular season out of my head because that was my favorite spot all season. They were terrible.
They were awful. They were awful
this season. Terrible. So it's hard to just throw it away, but I do feel what you're saying in the hell. This team has been here, and this is a quality group. And how long can we downplay what this team is doing, what Jimmy is doing, what Eric Spoelstra and this team is doing? So it's an interesting one. I'm excited for this game 1. I'm ready to see. I think game 1 is going to give us a lot of answers on how these two teams are going to adjust to each other and what it's going to look like. But the Nuggets, like I said, man, the best home team in the NBA. They've beaten this Heat team 6 straight games. I got to roll with the Nuggets at home. It's a big number, but I'm going to lay it.
Yeah, it's a difficult spot betting-wise. And it sucks because as you're recording this, like, shit, this is going to get a ton of views. A lot of people are going to tail this.
Yeah.
But as far as like finding value, we're shooting darts in the dark here. Not only do these teams didn't play much during the regular season, but they're just so different to the other teams that they've seen. I have nothing to even compare it to. Like I was just saying, Denver hasn't seen a 3-point shooting team yet. But I don't know if you saw the other thing I said about the mid-range shooting. Miami Heat, the 3 Heat opponents in the playoffs, Boston, Milwaukee, New York, those are 3 of the lowest frequency mid-range shooting teams. They don't take mid-range shots. Now the Nuggets are second in the playoffs to the Suns. So it's almost like, how are we even supposed to predict how the Heat defense is going to react to that? I'd like to think that Spoelstra isn't going to double team Jokic and he's going to make him go at. I mean, that's what I would do. Make Jokic beat Bam one-on-one, make him drop 45 points. Not saying you can't. I'm just saying that's how I would defend him. In fact, I think in the NBA today, coaches. Now I'm not going to pretend to know more about basketball than NBA coaches, but I feel like they're too quick to pull the double team trigger. Right. Where there's some games where I bet against Philly and I'm screaming at the TV, stop double teaming Embiid because it's just a wide open 3 for Niang or it's a wide open 3 for Tobias Harris. Just stop, make them beat you. And I think Spoelstra's going to do that. So I think it'll be interesting. It's just betting wise. It sucks because I know so many people are going to bet this so heavy, and I don't want to give bad advice. I'm trying to do the best I can, but it's tough. It's tough.
Facts, man. I'm right there with you. Series. What do you think of the series as a whole?
I don't think Miami can do it. If I you know what? I should have looked at.
So yesterday, right now. I had my guy Brad on the show yesterday, and he gave me something, and I ended up putting a few dollars on it. He said he really likes the Nuggets in 6. And I like the Nuggets in 6 too. I think I placed it at plus 240 for an exact Nuggets at 6.
Nuggets in 6.
I think you can also play it like Nuggets 1.5 games. There's a few different ways to play this, guys, but I think it's going to be exactly 6. So I put a few bucks on that, me personally.
Wow, you can bet the exact order. Like you could bet Nuggets in 5, game 1 Denver, game 2 Miami, game 3, 4, 5. Like you could bet the exact order of games. That's cool. So I mean, I think if I was placing a bet value wise, I think because obviously you just take Denver to win the series, you're probably not going to get the best odds. I haven't looked at it, which I probably should have. If for value wise, I'd say a sharp bet would be like Denver in 5 or less if you could find something there.
Yep.
My bet on the Heat today is just based on the point spread because I think it's crazy and the Heat have. Especially in the postseason, have showed us that they are solid as underdogs. They're solid when you count them out. But by no means does this bet mean that I think the Heat are a better team than Denver. Or I don't even think they're in the same league, really. No, I mean, in the same league is a stretch. I shouldn't have said that. But, yeah, so I'd say Denver in 5. Denver in 6 sounds good to me, especially since the Heat on their home court, they don't even protect it that well. And Denver's got maybe the best home court protection in the NBA. So, yeah, I Denver in 6 sounds good. I'll say Denver in 5 because you probably find some more betting value that way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I said as well yesterday. I really want to say Nuggets winning in 5, but it's hard to say that with the grit and the way this Miami team battles. Like I said a minute ago, they can turn that 15-point lead in 5 minutes into a win.
Right. Right. I mean, I just – as long as Denver protects the ball, it's – because what Miami does is they make you, like, uncomfortable as hell, and you'll see – players start making the most uncharacteristic, like Tatum giving the ball away at the top of the key, which is like it's like I've watched
Brown forgetting how to dribble.
Exactly. It's like, yo, I've watched Tatum and Brown play 200 Celtics games over the last 3 years. I've never seen them do shit like this. Like they just throw you off. And I'd like to think that Denver seems like a pretty mentally tough team, maybe because they've played together a few years, maybe because they have some veterans. I don't even know how to explain it, but I feel like they might be able to stick together through that.
Yes, sir. Any props you were looking at for today?
I like, you know what? Let me get to the exact thing. This was during the regular season. I'm not sure if this trend has held up. So during the regular season, my guy Prop Beaver was cashing a lot of he was cashing a lot of centers overs against the Nuggets. And it was kind of a testament of like, do you really think Jokic is that good of a defender or does he help a lot? I think Bam's got a big chip on his shoulder right now. His point total's at 16.5. I was looking at Bam's over. And I didn't post my stuff yet. I actually just got home. I was about to post it. I think I'll add Bam over to it. I know I'm taking the Heat in the points, and I know I'm taking the first half over. And I think I'll throw Bam Adebayo over 16.5 points in there. I think that'll be the 3. I don't want to go too crazy with it in game 1, have people lose all their money when we don't even know what the series is going to look like yet. But yeah, I think that's the plan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For me, I really like that Duncan Robinson over 1.5 threes. It's juice minus 145. Whew. But I think he knocks down 2. I really do.
Yeah, minus 150. Wow, minus 158 on FanDuel. That is juiced.
Yeah, they trying, man. They trying to scare us off of it.
I'm wondering about because I've hit Duncan Robinson over points in 2 in a row, 3 in a row actually. I think I'm wondering Gabe Vincent's minutes Like he seemed like he was healthy and back. It seems like when healthy, he gets the chunk of the minutes over Robinson, but Robinson only played like 15 minutes or something in the last couple games, still went over both times. So when he's on the floor, he gets the looks. Like they don't shy away from him.
And he's not afraid to shoot it. Sometimes he takes bad shots.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
That's what I said. He's going to put him up. So asking him to hit 2, I don't think it's too crazy.
Yeah, I agree. As long as he plays 15 plus minutes, he'll take at least 4 or 5 shots. So
now, here's one more. Now, this one, hey, plus money. It's another 3-point prop. I'm going to Jokic to hit me 2. Is that over 1.5 at plus 140? He's hit.
Jokic's over 1.5 threes.
Jokic's over 1.5 threes, man. I'm living a little dangerously tonight. But, I mean, he's hit it in 3 of his last 5.
Yeah, he has been splashing from outside.
Been splashing.
For sure. I don't know if that's a testament to how the Lakers were defending him. I really don't know. But I noticed that all of a sudden he's hitting. And if you have Bet365, that's actually at plus 160. So you want to do a little line shopping there, next an extra 20 cents. I don't know if I'd go there though. You know what? I have no idea. I have no idea how Spoelstra is going to defend this guy. So I don't know what we're going to see.
It's a tough place to be game 1 coming in it without seeing it. And expect, like you said, these two teams only play twice a season. They've only played 6 times in 3 years. It's tough.
And they're also so unique where it's not like I like when if you have if you play the Kings offense, you could be like, okay, let's take a look at Golden State's offense because it's similar. Or some teams you can mix and match. Yep. The Nuggets and Heat are so unique that it's tough to even find similar opponents.
Facts. Well, man, that's all I got for today's game, man. I'm excited for it. Game 1.
Hell yeah. Going on the spaces after?
Yeah, we're gonna be in the spaces tonight.
Yeah, I'll be in there.
So hey, I don't know if y'all know, but we be in a space on Twitter most nights after games. So if y'all want to come join us on there, usually a fun time. Hey, they get a little wild in there. So just for one of y'all,
brace yourself.
Yeah, just brace yourself. But it's a lot of fun, man. A lot of good info too, and we just talk hoops with some of y'all in the chat. So join up and let's talk some hoops after the game.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Anything else before we get up out of here, Kyle? Man, I appreciate you joining me, man. Like I said at the top, man, one of my favorites, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, no problem, man. I was running a little late today, but 4 p.m. on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm good because I do mine in the morning, my baseball stuff. So 4 p.m. I can make work. If you ever next week, whatever game's going on, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's Kyle Kerms. Follow him on YouTube, man, and his website, all that great stuff, man. You'll find him on YouTube. Y'all know who he is, man. We all do. So we all know that great stuff. Game 1 should be a good one tonight, man. I'm super excited for it. I'll be back tomorrow. I should have the jam session, a live show tomorrow. There's no game, but I should still have the live show, and I'll bring on my guest who's usually on Friday, and we'll. You
should bring Al on and talk about how Wembayama's a bust. Wembayama's going to tear his Achilles.
He told me to take a shot at you to say that Wemby is that guy, man.
Yeah, he's all in on this guy. Like he's going to stop watching the NBA if that guy doesn't pan out.
Big Al's the biggest Spurs fan on the planet.
I know, and we had one text conversation for like 10 minutes one night where he was trying to make me a believer, and I was like, "Yeah, I get the hype, but I'm not the type." Show it to me first before I give him any credit. How about that?
Fair enough. I'm somewhere on the middle on Wemby. I think he has the potential to be everything everybody is saying, but in that same breath, he's 7'5", and I think he's a rolled ankle away from.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, but he definitely can hoop. Like I've done a lot of watching his film recently. And if he comes in and does what they think, I could see the hype. I can. So
yeah, those highlights are crazy. They really are.
Crazy. They're crazy, but I just think they take it a little. What makes me mad is when they take it a little too far with the best prospect ever, even better than LeBron. Like
I know,
I don't think so. Like I think people forget the LeBron hype when he came out. Like he had the chosen one on his back.
Yeah, for real.
Like,
that was some other shit.
Hey, like if Braun was so highly touted that like it was crazy. Like he had to, I don't know. And the fact that he's done what he's done in his career to even surpass what they thought he was gonna do is crazier. Hey, I'm a huge LeBron fan. I go on all day, but
with Wembanyama, I'm always just. I'm not saying he isn't what they're saying he is, but I'm not saying he is either. Like we'll just see. How about we wait and see? How about that?
Fair enough. Thank you, my guy. Thank everybody in the chat, man. It's been a great episode. Great show. Game 1, man. Let's make some money tonight. See y'all tomorrow, man. We're out of here.
Later.
Peace.